Let's go. Are you freaking kidding me? Trey Lance. I don't know how I feel about this Hall of Fame performance, but it looked really freaking good on this 4th and 2, a little rollout action. Look at the ball placement here. Bam. Perfect for the tutty to Will Dissly. So the first thing I really like about this play is there were 3 tight ends to the right side. So you're thinking more than likely this is going to be a run with new first-round pick Omarion Hampton, but it's not. Right on the play before it, Omarion Hampton got tackled by a corner for a first down. It was actually pretty embarrassing, but he's only a rookie. We move on, and we get a little rollout action here where Trey Lance gets the tight end. Tight end goes past the DB, and it is indeed a tutty, baby. I want to shout out our partners for today's video, Fast Draft Fantasy. I actually did draft KeAndre Lambert-Smith quite a bit early in the draft season. Yes, I'm an SEC ball knower, and guess what? Before we actually show you this sideline throw, let's talk about Trey Lance reading this defense. So you can see 4-man front, 2 linebackers blitzing right here, single high safety. So Trey Lance knows versus press man in his Rakestraw. So we have an SEC matchup here, Missouri versus Auburn. These two probably played each other at some point. Lambert-Smith, a Penn State transfer over to Auburn, is finally getting out of this Rakestraw situation. The protection is absolutely positively perfect, and the throw from Trey Lance is absolutely positively perfect, just dropping this thing right in the bucket for Lambert-Smith to pick up an explosive first down. Alrighty, so we get to a sack here from Trey Lance, and boy, oh boy, this was a very fun play. So teams that are very run-heavy, like the Lions and the Chargers, they love to get heavy with the heavy personnel while at the same time taking deep shots. The problem with this is they're taking a deep shot. This looks like it's Yankee where it's a vertical and then there's a deep post behind it, is that there's 2 deep safeties already back here, and neither are biting in the box on the run. You get a cut block right here, but this was actually the guy, Grant Heward, out of Houston, that fumbled the opening kickoff. And really, there's nothing for Lance to do here unless there was something just wide the frick open, other than just run as hard as you can right through here. But you give Heward a lot of credit, popping right back up and, well, making a pretty big sack. So if you're Trey, you do want to avoid the negative play, but also give the Lions some credit, make it a really nice defensive play themselves. Might be his best throw of the night. Once again, it's the same kind of concept we were talking about. You're in a heavier personnel, 12 personnel right here, with 2 tight ends to the right side, and you are throwing the seam ball to the safety who's at a leverage disadvantage. So this ball really needs to be put on the hash, and, well, Trey Lance throws it right on the hash. I mean, this is sexy stuff. Good catch right here by 42 while he's getting cut down low, and it is indeed a first down. And then we get to this right here. Holy crap. Once again, the Lions bring a really heavy blitz. It is pretty much zero coverage on the back end, which means it is pure man-to-man. You're on this guy, you're on this guy, you're on this guy, you're on this guy. And Trey Lance sees the matchup that he wants and throws an absolute strike here to KeAndre Lambert-Smith. Now, before we show you KLS running into the end zone, take a look at this route. All right, this is filthy. First thing I like about this route is Lambert-Smith is not a year 3 rookie, right, coming out of college. He's an older, experienced veteran type of rookie, right? So he starts off with a very good vertical step towards the DB, and then he has a little shimmy, shake as if you're running the fade, and then now this DB is just sliding. He literally is on skates right here, and man, honestly, take a look at this from Trey Lance. Look at when he's actually deciding to rip this football. That's really, really, really good anticipation right here from Trey, not waiting for this to be wide, wide, wide open. And that's about as good of a ball location as you could have. And give 17 credit for at least tripping him up, but it is a little too late as KLS gets a tutty, baby. So this right here is typical preseason stuff, and honestly, really, really, really good stuff from Trey Lance. So what I'm about to say might sound like a minor criticism, but it really isn't. This is just not good at all. This could be on Trey setting the protection. You could see the offensive line here. The center slides right, and the guard has eyes on the backer, and they leave the A-gap player untouched, right? You never want this. Under any circumstance, you never want unblocked A-gap pressure, in particular from the defensive tackle. So Trey is just in a lot of trouble, so he decides to just run out here to the right side. And when this happens, you just kind of sort of want to throw this football down at your running back's feet, right? It's a dead play. You're really not getting anything out of it. This guy is in the path of the RB. Once again, everything is happening really fast. If I'm Trey, I'm just throwing this at the running back's feet this far back, and instead it's a completion for a lot of negative yards. So one thing that Trey provides your offense is always a rushing threat at the QB position. So what you're about to watch here is actually a play that's run more in college. This is a Josh Heupel staple of the Tennessee offense. Now, it's been run plenty of times, and it's really hard to stop. The thing that I like about this play is the design of this is what blocks it. So what the linebackers are looking at here is that you have a left guard and a left tackle pulling here to the right side, which makes you think that this is a run to the right side. But instead, it is a run to the left. And the job of this is to leave this in unblocked, and you're just trusting this running back to beat a linebacker in a foot race. And this play works even better versus man coverage because that means your guys can just run goes, and it takes these outside defenders out of the play. These linebackers have to crash because they think it's a run to the right side because of the pullers running to the right side. And you'll see Kimani Vidal is off to the races. All you have to do is, in a foot race, beat an edge linebacker or just defensive end, and he should be able to do that every time. And your QB being a rushing threat does help out with that play. So really, really, really good design there from the Chargers. This might have been one of the worst calls I can remember in a preseason game. This wasn't even close to being a completion, but they did overturn it. So they called this a touchdown. Still, this is good quarterbacking right here from Trey Lance. Work your tall receiver here. The ball location isn't the best, okay? It's way too close to the sideline. Obviously, you give a lot of credit to the corner just really pressing this receiver towards the sideline, but this isn't the best ball, but I do like the thought process. It is caught, but it is out of. So good stuff from Trey Lance. Let me know what you guys think. Is he rehabilitated? It is crazy that Jim Harbaugh, the former 49ers coach, would be the one to fix Trey Lance. I did a lot of his preseason breakdowns last year, and I thought they were way overrated just based on what the defense was doing and giving him basically for free. But this tonight actually legitimately looked good. So I liked what I saw. That's actually DJ Uiagalelei in the background, the former Clemson quarterback and Florida State QB. But still, it was a preseason game. So let me know what you guys think down below. It is Power Hour NFL. Boom! Tonight we are doing Snapper.